Thank you all for being here. Knowingly recognize this individual was a terrible mistake.
Will he take personal responsibility for this shame and
Now let's talk about Justin Trudeau. This week, his feud with India dominated the headlines, but in the past 2 days, a new scandal has surfaced, or should we say resurfaced, and Trudeau himself is at the center of it. He has been Canada's Prime Minister since the year 2015. He's serving his third term in office, which is an impressive record for any politician. But did Justin Trudeau win these elections with China's help? Canada's main opposition leader believes that is the case. His name is Pierre Poilievre. He's the leader of the Conservative Party in Canada. He has made some serious charges. 2 days back, he wrote a letter. It is on your screen. Let me quote a part of it, the part where Poilievre talks about the last 2 elections in Canada, where China apparently had a role to play. And this is what he wrote. Justin Trudeau, and I'm quoting, Justin Trudeau is lying to distract from a Liberal caucus revolt against his leadership and revelations he knowingly allowed Beijing to interfere and help him win 2 elections. So Poilievre says that China interfered in Canada's elections. Justin Trudeau looked the other way. In other words, Trudeau was complicit. That's the allegation from Pierre Poilievre, and it's not a new one. Leaders before Poilievre have made similar charges. It's a ghost from the past that keeps coming back to haunt Trudeau, but this time he's having trouble shaking it off. You see, Canada has been investigating this, the allegations of Chinese meddling. This investigation has been on for months. Unlike the case with India, where Trudeau launched a diplomatic war without proof, there is substantial proof of Chinese meddling in Canada. It was a wide-ranging operation. China tapped every available resource at its disposal. Chinese proxies in Canada, state entities, Chinese officials in Canada, the Chinese diaspora, even Chinese mouthpieces, all of them were mobilized for this mission. And Beijing had a clear goal: get friendly politicians elected to the Canadian Parliament, politicians who can push China's agenda or at the very least not stand in Beijing's way. And China had a clear preference here: Justin Trudeau and his Liberal Party. Beijing wanted them to win, so they tried to influence voters against the Conservatives. The Conservatives were viewed as anti-China, so they became targets of Chinese meddling. And this happened in the last 2 elections, in 2019 and then in the snap election in 2021. And don't take our word on this. This is what Canada's own intelligence agencies say, that there was Chinese meddling in the last 2 elections. In fact, I have some quotes from their assessment. It says, China clandestinely and deceptively interfered in Canadian elections. China is, and I'm quoting again, the most significant source of foreign interference in Canada, and Beijing acted in a sophisticated, pervasive, and persistent manner. China targeted Canadian politicians at all levels. And how many voters did they manage to sway? On this front, the assessment by Canadian agencies is inconclusive, but the Conservatives hold a different view. They believe that Chinese meddling definitely hurt them, and it cost the party at least 9 seats. That's according to Erin O'Toole. He led the Conservative Party until 2022. He says China's meddling hurt his political career. Again, I have a quote from him. This is what he says: the small number of seats would not have impacted the minority government that Canada has right now, but the difference of 2, 3, 5 seats may have allowed me more of a moral justification to remain as leader. So Erin O'Toole lost his post. And even after all of this, Justin Trudeau's Liberals ended up with a minority in the Canadian Parliament, but somehow he is still the Prime Minister. Then last year, another shocking revelation came out. It centered around a man called Han Dong. He's a sitting parliamentarian in Canada, of course. Dong has been accused of interfering on China's behalf. In 2021, he met a Chinese diplomat. He tried to block the release of 2 Canadians from a Chinese jail. Dong has denied these allegations, but guess which party gave him a ticket to contest? Trudeau's Liberal Party. Last year, when the story broke, Dong left the Liberal Party, but he holds his seat in Parliament as an independent. Imagine that. Canada has a sitting member of Parliament accused of foreign interference still in Parliament, but all Trudeau cares about is India. When the fact is that the threat from China is still high. Again, this is from their own defense minister, who says China has not stopped its interference.
I actually raised that concern of foreign interference and all the manifestations that it might take, including interference in our institutions, including our elections, but also actions of coercion against Chinese diaspora in Canada. They're our citizens.
That was Trudeau's Defence Minister Bill Blair. He made that statement earlier this year. The meddling allegations date back to the year 2019. It's been 5 years. In all these years, Canada has witnessed 2 elections and multiple reports corroborating the Chinese meddling. What has Justin Trudeau done to address the threat? He keeps underplaying it. So is he complicit? Is he benefiting from Chinese meddling in Canada? As Trudeau would put it, we don't have hard proof of his complicity. Perhaps the Canadians will investigate.
Firstpost decodes the U.S. election. Explains how America chooses its president. Your primer on the race to the White House. Everything you need to know about how America votes and its global implications. U.S. Election Explained. Every Monday and Thursday only on Firstpost.